Good morning everyone, it's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and it is now time to test out the new Earth Benimaru Protector. You know, Earth 2.0 is here. It seems to be very, very one-off, gimmicky, odd, kind of underwhelming, I guess is what I would say. But he does have a slightly interesting kit. He does things that, you know, a lot of other protectors do, but, you know, slammed into one. Because he's got guaranteed counterattacks, which right now there's no protector that gives guaranteed counterattacks. Let's just take a look at this skill. Guaranteed counterattacks, if you have it maxed out, level 9, whatever. He increases your skill point gain by 250%. So that, I mean, is more than what Cabby would give. But Cabby is giving a 150% boost to all your increases, not just skill points, so he's much better in that aspect. This skill point 250 is like a maxed out Space Veldora protector and what he does, because, you know, he boosts every orb's skill point gain by 250% when you max that out. But again, he does all orbs, and not just greens. And then the final part of Benimaru's skill is he resets your skill cost by 20 points, no lower than the original value, which is what, you know, Dark Rimuru Protector does, it's what Soka does. So he does a lot in one kit. So it seems on paper to be, you know, generally pretty good. Guaranteed counterattacks, you're boosting your greens, which you have, if you have some good green orb changers, you can work pretty well. And then, you know, reducing skill cost means you can pretty much constantly be throwing out orb changes and heals on his team. But right now, the Earth team only has one green orb changer, and that's the free-to-play Aaron, who I don't have maxed out yet, but we're going to use anyways, because, you know, she's the only orb changer. Otherwise, you're going to have to bring other green orb changers like Butler Veldora, Maid Valentine, Light Rimuru, I guess, for his single green orb change. He has a good trait, so I think he'll work okay. But, you know, this team is not done yet. We're still missing 2 more units, of which I assume at least one of them is going to be a blue to green orb changer to really make him work and go alongside Erin for her orange to green. So let's test him out. Let's use him on, you know, the new Earth team. Let's try and get a really, really, really buffed counterattack turn where we have like attack buffs and crit buffs and magic buffs, and then, you know, give everyone guaranteed counters. I don't know what stage we're going to do that on, but I think it could be very interesting. And then we'll test him out on leading like not an Earth team, and to see if he can really be useful outside of his meta. So let's jump right in. Okay, this is the first team we're going to start out with. It's the same team that we ran in the Mirin showcase, but instead of the Golem, we're going to be using Benimaru. So we're going to lose the Guard, which is kind of important for this Conquest Milim stage. So, you know, we're going to have to really be using the debuffs and buffs that are defensive-oriented from these two, and then Trainee. But he does have a 100% guaranteed counterattack, which, you know, Valentine does good damage here, so we can give her some good counterattacks, then we might be okay. So let's see how it goes. We just don't have any green orb changers on this team, which is really going to hurt us as far as, you know, maximizing the full use of his skill. So let's dive in. Let's figure out if this team can actually even live, because again, without that guard, we still take a lot of damage. And if we're not getting greens to really buff up that 250% skill point boost, we're not really going to be sending too much either. We're not going to be orb change, we're not going to be healing, we're not going to be using a lot of defensive buffs, and then we're just going to die. So let's see what happens here. What do we start with? Hopefully be okay. Well, okay. I mean, that's not terrible. 4 greens to start out with will not be enough, and unfortunately I didn't bring, like, Wind Valentine to do a full 6-card send, which I probably should have done, but let's go ahead and send this. Let's lower your Pierce power, actually, just to, you know, start out with, down by 18%, and then we'll go ahead and send these 4. Oh, why are we so laggy? Ooh, I don't like that at all. What is happening here? Huh. Alright, well, you're taking a lot of damage, so let's take you out of here. Let's use the Chad. Let's use his... not that one. Let's use the Pierce Resistance up. And then we'll send these blues. We'll get Benimaru online next turn. Okay. It might be because I'm rendering a video right now. Okay, there's the orange nerf, which we can't really get away from. Okay, so... we can heal, which is going to be important. Now, let's use Benimaru. Get the almost guaranteed counterattack, 96%. If we don't counterattack, I'm really going to be upset that we hit that 4%. Oranges are nerfed for 2 more turns. How many points do we get off of these? 2 greens gives us 45, which isn't terrible. It's not terrible. We made back pretty much everything we just used. Alright, counterattack. 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 And counterattack. Alright, so 4 attacks, 4 counters. This is going to hurt a lot, so I kind of want to use his defense buff again, but thankfully it's back down to 15 points. So what we can do is we can actually use both the buff and the heal. And, you know, we're looking pretty good right now. We're ready to take this ult. It's going to hurt still, but, you know, it won't hurt as much as it, you know, would have done. And we still have counterattacks, so whatever her follow-up is going to do, we will smack her right back. So that's okay. It's a good thing that we healed. So there's an attack. Oh, we get a super counter. Ooh, we don't see those too often. Alright. Oh, she really hates the Chad. Alright, Trainee got a counter in there, and then Valentine also gets some love. Alright, so we're down to half health on her already. The oranges are no longer nerfed. We've got so much Chad to send, but I kind of want to get him out of here because he's going to die. Let's use Kurobe. Let's use his defensive skill, which is more pierce resistance, which is good because she's about to lose that. So let's go ahead and send Kurobe. Pop, 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 and pop. Alright. We no longer have any counterattacks, though. At least I thought we didn't. I think that was just a lucky counter from Trainee. Alright, so, okay. We haven't... This will get her ult, which is the first ult of this entire game, which we'll probably be able to kill after this. Now the video's done, so things maybe should speed up. Yeah. Alright, Valentine might die here. Okay. So we have 55 points, actually. So what we can do is we can actually bring Murin in. We can use her buff, which is up to 40% because it's turn 7. And then we're going to try and make Trainee a DPS, because we've used the swap, right? So now she has 9,000 attack and 7,200 defense. So, you know, before that, it was swapped, and she had really low attack and she had pretty high defense. So here, we've actually made pretty good use of Murin's skill, alongside boosting up her earth attack by 40%, alongside the higher attack stat. We're going to use the counter attack just in case we don't kill. And this will also reset the cost of that Murin skill back to 55. So here, what we're going to do is we're just going to send all this, and we're going to pray that we can kill. So how much does Trainee do here? 31-3 for Trainee, right? Trainee, one of the lowest attack stat units in the game, is now competent with the use of that skill and the 40% ult boost. Or not ult boost, but earth damage boost. So, okay. Benimaru can work. And, you know, as long as you have defensive skills and you can keep popping those, he can work fine in Conquest Millum. Let's try a different stage now. Okay, we're going to go into the new Tempered Edge, but like the lower stage, right? Because I want to have a super counter-attack turn. We've got, you know, Velzard and Leon who do a lot of attacks. Benimaru is going to give, hopefully, Murin and Lumi 100% counterattack, and then we can try and boost it up as much as possible with as much DPS as possible. So the attack buff, the pierce buff, the crit buff, the magic buff, and then we'll see how much the counterattacks can do on a good, fun turn. This isn't going to be entirely what I would say reliable, in any other game mode, but depending on how this next Jubilee turns out, we could be seeing an enemy who AoEs a lot, and who, you know, if we're using a bunch of skills and getting a bunch of skill points, then we could see some usage of extra buffs here. So let's try and have some fun, I guess. Counterattacks are cool. We're going to be resetting the skill costs of things, you know, with Benimaru whenever we use him, so all the big skills are going to hopefully remain around 55 cost. But again, we don't have a green orb changer, which is really going to hamper this whole kind of setup. So let's see how fast we can get Benimaru online first. Okay, well, should have probably brought Aaron in place of one of the, probably like Dark Xion or something. Let's do that instead. Okay, we've swapped out Dark Xion for Aaron so we can take advantage of the permanent 4-2 spread. You know, just try and make use of it. So let's go ahead and send this on Velzard. Alright, so there. We've got Benimaru online next turn. We're doing a lot of damage. Maybe should have gone to one of the higher stages. Yeah, probably should have gone into one of the higher stages. Alright. So she attacks twice. Leon attacks once, but then there's his ult and then his crit, which... okay. So let's go ahead and use the attack buff and the magic boost on, you know, all these guys, and then we're going to send them away until we have enough points to use the hero crit buff. And then I want to see some really, really, really good counterattacks. Unless we kill here. Okay, no. We should start targeting Leon, probably. Alright, so this will go over there. 48 points. We need 55, so one more turn. One more turn and then we'll be okay. Frostbite. Leon's got another ult because he's ult happy. Alright, so pop, pop, pop. This will be enough. 63 points right there. So next turn, we're going to bring Valentine and Murin back in. Give them counterattacks, use the hero crit buff, and then watch us maybe annihilate these guys just on counterattacks? I don't know. So Valentine for Rimuru, and Murin for Aaron. Almost guaranteed counterattacks. And then the crit buff. Alright, so we've got 40% attack, the guaranteed crits, 30% crit resistance down, and then Valentine also has her magic boost. So let's go ahead and let's send these two Vals right here just for funsies. How much is she doing? 17,000 a hit right there. Whew. Velzard, okay. And then a follow-up from Leon. Alright, another follow-up and a counterattack for 10,000 from Murin. Velzard did not have an attack after that ult. That's kind of unfortunate. Also, we're getting a bunch of hero cards, so I mean, thank you. So, okay. I mean, not as fun and interesting. There's not really a good stage that like AoEs you, that's not going to die in like 5 hits, or we're not going to die before we can get this going. So, okay. There's like a very, very small taste of what we could do if we wanted to buff up our counterattacks. And we could have done more damage too. If they would have lived and they survived a Murin ult, we could have, you know, lowered one of their counterattack resistances down even further by 25% because of her ult effect. So Valentine could have done like 20,000 on a hit. I don't know, something like that. Let's try Benimaru on not an Earth team now. Alright, this will probably be the last section of the video. So we're going to go into Conquest Cabby, leading a Wind team, a Wind 1.0 team, because they're focused on greens, right? Valentine's got the special convert, Veldora's got the orange to green, and then Wind Shuna, the free-to-play one, has blue to green. Misery is here to boost those greens, and then Rimuru is here for the attack buff for, you know, some good counterattacks against Cabby. So I think this should work in theory pretty well, because, you know, Benimaru is going to boost the greens alongside the boost that Misery is going to do. So we'll be okay. We'll have a healer, you know, of a semi-solid DPS in both of them. I think this can work. I don't know for sure, but in theory, it can work. We'll just have to see how lucky we get, really. So Cabby has guard for a lot, so a lot of the time our counters probably won't be doing too much damage, but hey, chip damage is chip damage, right? So Butler Valdor, also not a unit I use very often, so might as well bring him out, dust him off a bit. Let's go ahead and just send these, and then see if we can get a nice Valentine hand next turn, which we don't. Okay. Oh, greens are nerfed here. Well, how long? 6 turns. That's unfortunate. Maybe the 250 skill point boost can get around that, because we know Cabby can do it, you know, himself. Let's do this. Maybe we can just get a good... Yes, okay. So we got a Shuna orb change right here. So we can swap Misery. No, we can use Misery. And then swap Misery for Shuna. Use her orb change. Alright, so pop, 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 pop. Alright. There we go. And then next turn we're going to start boosting greens up to 250% for skill points with Benimaru. We'll start getting the counter attacks. That is almost no greens right there, so cool, excellent. That's 5 Veldoras though, so I mean that's something, I guess. Let's start the counter attacks. All right. The green is now boosted. 30% gauge increase, 15% damage, and 250% skill point. They are all stacking because they are different separate buffs. So how much does this green give me? Not a lot, but, you know, decent skill points for being nerfed by, you know, 80%. So this will get Veldora's ult. So that's something. Back up to maximum points. Alright, and then we'll start getting some counterattacks in. There's a heal, there's an AoE, so all 3 of these units should be counterattacking. There we go. So that's probably what the Jubilee is going to look like at the end of the month, is they're going to do AoE attacks, and we're going to have triple counters going, and that's going to help us whittle them down and get our score higher. Let's do that, I guess. Wait for his guard. I think it ends in 2 turns from now. Alright, we should probably heal. There's another counterattack. But yeah, let's go ahead and heal up. Alright, so what do we got here? Let's... okay, let's use Veldor's orb change. And then let's get him out of here for Misery. And then use Shuna's orb change. And these should still be boosted. Ooh, yes, they are boosted still. Alright, cool. So here, Misery, Shuna, Val. Alright, max points again. Another counterattack ready to go. Can we counter the counter? No. I wish that was a thing. That'd be hilarious. This should also be the last turn that the greens are nerfed. This is the last turn greens are nerfed. His defense is mostly gone. Can't really get a Valentine ult though, can we? So let's do... Let's see. How do I want to work this? Let's get you out for Misery. And let's get you in for Shuna. Go ahead and pop the... Nope, let's use the skill first. And then we will heal. And then we'll reset it. And now we'll have, you know, the attack buff alongside guaranteed counters. And then maybe we can have some fun here. So, Veldora, 18,000-ish, 4,000, 3,500, 4,300. Now some counterattacks, right? That are all attack boosted. Do it again. Do one more attack. Ah, I wish he did one more attack. Damn it. Alright, well, eh. Alright, so more boosted greens. So we get 70 points off 3 greens right here. That's pretty good, right? Pretty good as far as gaining points is concerned. And then we have no greens. Alright. He's going to continue to heal. And we're just going to be stuck in this loop forever, right? So we're going to be doing damage. And then we're going to counterattack back. He has Super Guard now, though. Alright, counter. Only one counter. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Benimaru again. We're going to heal and attack boost again. And then we're going to send this. So Valentine does she do 18? She has 17. Alright, there's an attack, and there's an attack. Alright, so now we have an ult coming, okay. And then follow up and a heal. Attack on Rimuru, okay. Alright, so what do we want to do here? We'll do that. Maybe we kill? I don't think we're actually going to kill here. No. But maybe the counterattacks will kill. Unless he heals again. Alright, there's a heal. There's an AoE, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're in for the long haul. 3 more attacks. Alright, we don't have any more counters though. He healed again. There's another heal. I think that's just a lucky counter right there. Alright, let's use Benimaru again. Let's heal and attack buff. And I think this should just about do it right here with this ult and then the follow-ups. Yeah, this is the end, so... Hey, if we had brought Mirren, we're at turn 13, we would have had a maxed out Earth attack right there. That was hilariously slow going. But yeah, I mean, that showed off literally everything Benimaru can do right there. Counterattacks, green boosting, resetting skill costs for long fights, survivability. We were able to heal a bunch of times, we were able to use the attack buff multiple times at their initial values, because we kept resetting their cost. I think we can call that. That fight went on for a while. This video is probably around like 25 minutes now or something. So, what do I think of Protector Benimaru? I think he's pretty janky. For lack of a better term. I wouldn't consider him at all near close to the very best protectors like Shizu, Hakuro, the stacking protectors. He's not touching them. He's in a kind of weird spot because you don't really use counterattacks too much, right? Resetting skill cost again is, you know, something that 2 other protectors have that we don't use at all. So again, that's going to be niche as well. And then the skill point boost is good, you know, it's good, but I'd rather just bring Cabby for that, and I'd get, you know, 150% to everything instead of just points. So, initial grade, I would probably give him like a 6.5, maybe a 7 if I'm feeling extra generous. He's just way too specific. He doesn't have any orb changing like Shizu, Gabiru, Hakuro. He doesn't have like the power of the stacking units. So I think he doesn't have too much value for a new player. And for older players, I think you can... I mean, this new Earth meta is going to nerf Hakuro's oranges into the ground, so... but the fact that, he's boosting greens means that you can just run Guy or Shizu and just get full hands of greens off of them. Shizu with the Pierce and as well, give Pierce to Earth Valentine with her magic buff and an attack buff, and I think you'll be looking pretty good. So I don't think this Benimaru is necessary. But let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you did pull Benimaru and you've used him, what do you feel like he's useful for? Do you think he's better than the 6.5, 7 rank that I gave him? Let me know. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.